And in last night's State of the Union address, President Biden said it's time to pass bipartisan legislation to stop tech companies from collecting personal data on kids and teenagers. He also said he wants to ban targeted advertising to children and impose stricter limits on all the personal data those companies collect. Earlier today, I spoke with the Internet Accountability Project's founder and president, Mike Davis, for his analysis. Mike Davis, welcome to our show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, last night, Biden called on Congress to rein in tech companies. What do you make of his rallying call?
I don't agree with President Biden on just about anything except for his bipartisan antitrust proposals and appointments related to antitrust. We absolutely need to come together as a country, Republicans and Democrats, and rein in big tech's gatekeeping power over information and commerce. Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple have too much power. They use their monopoly power to crush competition, shutter small businesses, and cancel conservatives and others with whom they disagree. And this is a rare bipartisan closing window of opportunity for Republicans and Democrats to come together and finally do something about that. And that is bipartisan antitrust enforcement and reforms.
Now, Biden has already made some progress on this front, appointing some of the industry's toughest critics to key regulatory roles. But observers say that this speech could signal a watershed moment. What's your take?
I think this speech was directed at Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the Democrat from New York. The problem is that Chuck Schumer has been talking a big game like many politicians do in Congress, Republican and Democrat. But when it comes down to actually doing something about it, they're not doing something about it. The problem, I think, is Chuck Schumer takes too much of big tech's money. One of his daughters apparently is a lobbyist for big tech. The other one works for big tech. It's time for Chuck Schumer to put up or shut up. And it's time for him to support bipartisan antitrust reforms. The reason they didn't pass the Senate last Congress is Chuck Schumer held them up. And I think President Biden coming forward in his State of the Union address and making this a focus is a signal to Chuck Schumer. It's time for Chuck Schumer to get the heck out of the way.
And so do you think that we're likely to see more progress now?
I think we are. I mean, we already are seeing progress with Jonathan Cantor, the head of the antitrust division at the Justice Department. It is the one part of the Biden Justice Department that is actually functioning properly. And the Internet Accountability Project supported Jonathan Cantor's nomination to this position, and he won bipartisan support. And he's already filed 2 lawsuits against Google, one against Google's search monopoly and one recently against Google's online advertising monopoly. And if they can win either or both of those lawsuits, it's going to go a long way into breaking up Google's gatekeeping power over information and commerce.